You're watching the Community MMA.
What up? It's your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the Community MMA. Great night of sports all around last night. Great night of fighting. Noche UFC, right? The main card got better and better towards the end. I flipped that off after the fight was over. Switched over to Colorado versus Colorado State. Of course, I was paying attention to that. Big Deion Sanders fan. Stayed up till 2 in the morning watching him come back and win in overtime. Through both of his sons, Shiloh Sanders, Shadur Sanders. So it's just great, man. It's just great. Watching that all take shape and the camaraderie and what it's doing for Colorado. And then you get a game where they're supposed to blow someone out and it's an in-state rivalry and it goes into double overtime. It doesn't get better than that on both sides of the football. But as we dive into the UFC today, it was a weird night last night. Just a weird night. You had finishes, decisions, some odd decisions, some questionable judging, but that's usually what happens in the UFC, right? Because you're dealing with judges in 3 to 5 rounds determining the fight and not the stats. So for those of you that don't know what happened last night, let me give you the first reaction. Because you got Grasso versus Shevchenko for the women's flyweight belt. At the beginning of the fight, Shevchenko looked serious. Grasso looked serious. I mean, it was like, this is going to be an absolute battle. And you get a title fight in the UFC fight night setting. And, let's just get right to it. This is how it turned out. Quite crazy. Nervous tension in the crowd now as Grasso and Shevchenko head to a decision. Great fight. I mean, Shevchenko had 4 takedowns compared to 1 for Grasso. But Grasso at the very end nearly gets a finish. Overall, Shevchenko seemed to win the fight. Round by round could be different, but she led 111 to 98 in significant strikes, 81 to 68 in head strikes, 14-11 body shots. Only place she trailed is leg shots. And total strikes, 227 to 206. I mean, close fight, man. I don't know. They're both putting their hand up. We'll see. Whew. And Shevchenko believes she won the fight. And it could have came down to round 5 and Shevchenko was leading the round before she gave up the back in the last minute. So here we go. For the decision, Bruce Buffer weighs in. Oh, it's split. 48-47 Grasso. 48-47 Shevchenko. Oh my gosh. If Shevchenko wins, we're getting a rematch. Wow. A split draw. Are you serious? And Shevchenko smiles because a draw is a win for her. Grasso smiles because a draw is a win for her. We haven't had a draw in months. And we get one here. Wow. And the crowd's stunned, but they're kind of cheering now because they realize Grasso keeps the belt. Split draw for the women's flyweight title. When was the last time we saw a draw in a title fight? That's crazy. So Alexa Grasso keeps the belt. Women's flyweight division. Noche UFC. Yes, obviously Shevchenko was not happy following the fight. It said some things about, the setting is what gave Grasso the draw. And what it came down to is one judge gave a 10-8 round to Grasso in the 5th round, or Shevchenko wins. And was it a 10-8 round? Absolutely not. Do the referees have the discretion to give a 10-8? They absolutely do. But it was very questionable. And Shevchenko's feeling like she should be the champion today. Dominating every category. Going on that judge's scorecard, right? Going into the final round up 3-1. And the judge gives a 10-8. I mean, that's just crazy. But that's the way it turns out. So nothing happened there, basically. It's like just a tie. Which is, it's hard when you get into the judging and the scorecards. But again, if you take the judges out of this thing, and you go to a scoring format based off of significant strikes, takedowns, control time, head strikes get more, body shots get a little, leg strikes get a little, and next thing you know, it takes it out of the judges' scorecards, and you have like a real point setting, like a football game or something like that, where you can see the clock ticking down and you can see the points. But instead, we got to wait on these judges, and it's always something crazy and dramatic, and the person who won seems to get cheated or robbed at the end of the fight. It's just crazy. But someone who didn't get cheated because they got the finish was Raul Rosas Jr., the youngest UFC fighter. Check this out. Rosas Jr. and Mitchell underway now. Rosas lands a big left, and he's coming out swinging. Look at this. Mitchell lands a right leg kick. And, you know, you expect Rosas to come in here and get the submission, but he's looking to swing right now. Big left. Boy, and he's coming in. Both guys are swinging. Look at this. And Rosas ties him up, and here we go. This isn't where Mitchell wants to be for sure. Mitchell shows him off. Ooh, and Rosas takes a right. Another right. A left. Oh, he flattens Mitchell. Dang. Crowd's going crazy. The 18-year-old youngest fighter in the UFC is on top now. He's getting a leg over. Oh, he's in a full mount. Mitchell's covering up. And Rosas is pounding away, and the ref stops it. So Raul Rosas Jr. gets the win. Youngest UFC fighter, dominating fashion. Just flattened Terrence Mitchell. And that was to be expected. That was kind of the setup. He lost the last fight. The UFC's trying to groom this guy. And he's not going to beat his best till he's 22 to 24 years old. So no reason to rush the guy. Get him fights like this where you get the crowd going. And he's the future for the UFC. You also had Lupi Godinez coming out of the prelims, getting the big win, which got the Mexican crowd on its feet. Godinez backs off. She's going to let her up. Oh, a big right and a left. Oh, rocks Elise. Now she's going to pick her up, it looks like. Oh! What a slam. Lupi Godinez looking ridiculous here. And now looking for the north-south. Now Godinez standing up. Elise Shree going with her, of course. Now she's looking for the standing guillotine. Oh, she takes a leg out. Now she's on top. She pounds away with the right. Oh, my goodness. Lupi just dominating here. Now she's pounding away with the right. Textbook here. This is just textbook. Textbook. Oh, she locks in the rear. Ooh. She's got a tap on this. She's about to tap. That's it. Lupi Godinez gets the crowd crazy at Noche UFC. Yeah, so Lupi getting the crowd going just in time for the main card. And it just got better and better, culminated with a draw, which is crazy. And we break down how we did last night, crisscross picks, Noche UFC, 7-2-1. So it's a great night. And we lost a perfect night with Daniel Lacerda because that was a no contest. But we were pitching a no-hitter basically until the fifth fight when Padilla went down. Say Padilla wins, we're getting all the way to the co-main event. So we've been close a few times this year, but to go perfect is nearly impossible. But 7-2-1, we'll take that. With Lupi winning, Zell Huber, Rosas Jr., Kopylov, Tracy Cortez, Charlie Campbell, Josephine Knudsen. And 7-2-1 is not bad. Make no mistake about it. So we're marching forward. You know, we had a bad week last week and we rebounded really well. And we got 1 week left in the 18-week stretch. We're almost there. Your boy Chris Cross is breaking down. But we're going to make it through because we got a big lightweight main event this week just to get you fired up for the last week of an 18-week stretch, nearly 5 months in a row of UFC. And even though there's no fighting the following Saturday, you still got Contender Series going on. But check this out. What is this, 5 versus 6, I believe? 6 versus 7, something like that. Rafael Fiziev versus Mateusz Gamrot in the lightweight division. At UFC Vegas 79, your main event, Rafael Fiziev, number 6 in the division, comes in at 12-2, takes on number 7, Mateusz Gamrot, who comes in at 22-2. This is going to be a great main event. Now, Gamrot, 2 inches taller at 5'10". He's 32, Fiziev 30. Both guys 71-inch reach. Fiziev switch stance fighter. Gamrot fights southpaw. Now, Fiziev 5 significant strikes per minute compared to 3 for Gamrot. You get into the takedown game, though, that's all Gamrot, 1.5 per round. Fiziev, none. Fiziev 90% takedown defense, though. Coming off the loss to Justin Gaethje, but before that he's beaten RDA, Brad Riddell, Bobby Green, Renato Moicano, forget about it. Mateusz has only lost to Beneil Dariush by decision. Fought well, though, had 4 takedowns. And Guram Kudalate, which really, a lot of people believe he won that fight. He came back and beat Jalen Turner by split decision. That was a big win. I believe he ended his win streak, or was one of the 2 guys that helped end that win streak. He also beat Arman Sarukian, Diego Ferreira, Jeremy Stevens. So this is going to be a battle. This is going to be an absolute battle, and it's right about the breaking point for Mateusz Gamrot, right? Can he beat the top 5? We don't know. Can he beat below 10? Obviously, yes. Between 6 through 10, that's where it gets tricky. So Fiziev is the favorite, but guess what? I like Mateusz Gamrot. And these are the tough decisions, but I'm going to lean with Mateusz Gamrot to win this fight. I think regardless of Fiziev's takedown defense, Gamrot's still going to find a way to get in there and get takedowns. Right? He can't stand and strike with Fiziev. If that's the case, then it's over. Now, Fiziev has a good chance, right? His style is, I'm going to stand up and strike with you, and I can defend the takedowns 9 out of 10 times. So even if I get taken down once, I just got to get through that round and win the other 2. So that's why he's the favorite. But I think Mateusz Gamrot comes through. He always finds a way to get 3 to 5 takedowns, it seems like, in almost every fight. So I like him to win by decision on control time and a little bit of striking to move to 23-2 here, lightweight division. UFC Vegas. UFC Vegas 79, but we like Mateusz Gamrot to get the win. And it's a tough one, man. This is like an even matchup to me. Fiziev is still really good and capable of winning that fight, but Mateusz Gamrot's a guy that I just like. I don't think he's in the top 20 to-do list right now, but he's been in there. And then beating Jalen Turner, that hurt me because I like Jalen Turner, and I'm pretty sure he ended the win streak at 5 for Turner. But Mateusz Gamrot is for real, and this is a fight he's got to pull out, so look for him to win. But don't be surprised if Fiziev wins. I won't be. As we jump into the Q&A, Hamza back in the news. Bucket to star, looks like. Says 100%. Agreeing with what I say about Hamza. It's going to beat everybody. Got another one weighing in. Do you think Hamza will beat Costa? Only thing that worries me about Costa is his size. See, and we haven't seen Hamza in the middleweight division for a while, right? So you forget how big this guy is at middleweight. And you're going to see when he stands with Costa, Costa's not going to look as big as you think he is. Homework saying patiently waiting for Hamza's return. We've been on the train since day 1. Yes, we have. Me and Homework. Me and Kenneth Bruner. A lot of guys. Day 1. You got Dario Baldi saying, I refuse to believe that he's 18 years old. Speaking of Raul Rosas Jr. He doesn't look, it's crazy that 18-year-olds go in there and walloping people that are in their 30s. Think the loss will make this dude better? Yeah, for sure. Raul Rosas Jr. is already believing he's going to win the title, but he's young, right? So the loss in the last fight against a decent fighter, I think was it Christian Rodriguez, something like that? Just an experienced fighter, beat him. Just controlled the heck out of him. But that'll make Rosas Jr. even better. Valentina's going to the ground when she gets touched up again, and Grasso did have a takedown in the first fight. And Shevchenko dominated the ground last night, still got a draw. 1 in striking everywhere, still got the draw. A 10-8 round in the 5th, or she has the belt. It's crazy. It's just, all of you, even if you're rooting against Shevchenko, you got to say there shouldn't have been a 10-8 round. You just have to. I like hearing your opinion on these fights, but you're shooting yourself in the foot by posting them one night before the fight when people have already looked elsewhere for predictions. And it is what it is. Listen, 17 straight weeks of 10 to 15 fights. Contender Series 5 fights. We're doing 20 predictions a week, 20 reactions, couple podcasts. Listen, we're going to break down towards the end. You see, when we start on week 1 after a break, we'll have a bunch of predictions already lined up. But eventually those will pass, and then we just got to make it week to week. And by the time you get, even if it's 8-9 weeks, it's rough. You're talking 17 or 18 weeks. We're just grinding at this point. There's no doubt about it. All we can do is the best we can do and just try to keep up. It's very difficult, and I'm looking forward to a week off because you got 294 coming up with Hamza versus Costa, Oliveira versus Makhachev, part 2. And I want to get to those predictions as soon as possible. But nonetheless, another great week of fighting, sports in general, just on fire right now. And this will continue for another few months. It will. For now, this is your boy Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day and God bless. Peace.